Hello everyone, how's it going? I hope you are going well. I'm Reza Fatwa Pratama. In this video, I'm gonna explain about job interview lesson. And I'm also gonna explain that what should you do before interview, what should you do when you do interview, and what exactly the interviewer thinks when he is asking certain question, what exact answer he is looking at, and what are the common mistakes that you usually do. What is an interview? Basically, an interview is a conversation between two people, the interviewer and the interviewee, where questions are asked by the interviewer to obtain information from the interviewee. Job interview is a process in which a potential employee is evaluated by an employer for prospective employment in their company, organization, or firm. What should you do before interview? Number 1, you have to arrive 5 until 15 minutes early so you have a lot of time to prepare yourself. Number 2, first impression. Give your best first impression because you never get second chance to make your first impression. Number 3, dress for success. You have to customize the clothes for what position you are applying for, or what is the dress code for the applicants from the company. What should you do when interviewed? You have to stay calm, be positive, confident, professional, speak clearly and listen carefully. Don't give the impression that you are only interested in the salary. And the last, don't take cell phone calls during an interview, or if you carry a cell phone, turn it off during an interview. When you apply for a job, you are called for an interview. There are various questions that are asked, and better prepared you are, the more successful your interview will be. So, these are common interview questions. The first most common questions that is asked by the interviewer is, so tell me something about yourself. Or he or she might also ask the run meter of your CV. Now here, the interviewer is not really interested in your answer. What they are looking at is your enthusiasm, your confidence, and the passion that you are answer with. So it is the best time that you show off your communication skills. Now, I have observed that many people end up saying, well, I love playing football, I love listening music, I have so many friends. No, that's not the right way to answer the question. What you need to talk about is your education, where you grow up, or you can also talk about your past work experience if you have any, and your personal interests. For example, you can say, well, I grew up in Indonesia and I studied Nautica. I also worked for a shipping company for about 2 years and I really enjoy driving a ship. So I think that's exactly the reason I love to be a friend with him. And in my spare time, I really like reading and also do work out. So that's the way you will answer to this question. The second most popular questions that is asked by an interviewer is, what are your strengths? Now here, the interviewer is looking at how positive you think about yourself. It is quite a general question. There is no right or wrong answer to it. But if you give out one-liners such as, oh, I'm a very friendly person. I love being with people and people love being with me. That just doesn't sound great for an interview, isn't it? So the way you can say is, my strongest trait is attention to detail. I totally believe in planning and execution. In fact, even when I was in senior high school, I used to really organize my week. And many people, because of my very outgoing nature, many people have said that I'm quite approachable, so I believe these are my strengths. The third most common question that is asked is, so what are your weaknesses? Here, for this question, you don't need to answer really negative about yourself. I have heard people saying, well, I'm very impatient person. Or people also say that I get angry easily. Well, that's not the right answer. Maybe that's your weakness, but you don't need to bring it out. The best answer to this, because what the interviewer is looking at is whether you can identify your weakness and how you can cover it up. So one of the example that you can use to answer this question is, well, I think my weakness is that I'm way too detail oriented. I try to accomplish everything and I just want everything to be perfect. But then I realize that I'm losing out on time. So maybe that makes me submitting this project pretty late. So I think that is one of my weaknesses. So here, basically, what you are doing is, you are displaying that maybe you run out of the time, but you are also giving a very positive aspect. You are a perfectionist, and that's exactly what we saw as a strength in the previous question. So I think this is one of the best way that you can answer to this question. The next common question that is asked is, do you work well under pressure? Now, the reason behind this question is the employer or the interviewer wants to know that do you get really stressed out? Do you really get panic under pressure? Because these days, companies of course expect you to take more and more responsibility and of course a greater workload. So the best way to answer this question is, well, definitely working under pressure or without pressure works just the same for me. In fact, in one of the organizations that I was joining, there was a project that was given to us which had to be completed in 4 days, which usually takes 10 days. And the whole team is like so stressed out, they panic and they just didn't know what to do. But then I ensured they settled down, we prioritized our work. In fact, in a very organized manner, we completed the project. Of course, we also worked late nights, but that definitely helped to submit our project in 4 days. So I think working under pressure is not too bad for me. So this one of the best way that you can answer this question. The next common question that is asked is, how do you make important decisions? Now, the reason behind this question is usually if someone or the interviewer is hiring the person or you for a lead position, he wants to know that someday when you have to handle a very important, a very critical decision, how would you do that? So many people end up saying, you know, what I really haven't come across, I really haven't dealt with such difficult situation. That is not the right answer. One of the best answer is, you can say, handling decision is definitely considered to be a little difficult, but I'm sure I can do it because my experience, I would rely on my experience. I would also weigh on the pros and cons. Of course, I would also take some advice from my team members, and I'm sure that would help me to come on a decision. We will also look at the consequence of the decision. So definitely I can go ahead and make decisions. The next common question is, why do you want to work for us? Or why have you chosen our company? In this question, you have to focus on 3 things during your answer to this question. The first is, say the fact they have exciting plans for the future appeals to you. So you have gone on their website. You can see they are a highly trusted and respected company, and they have exciting plans for the future, and you would like to be a part of them. The second is saying the fact that they have a strong reputation in the industry is also appealing to you because you have high standard. And the last is the fact you feel skills, qualities, and attributes will be put to good use while is working for them. So when they say to you, why do you want to work for us? Or why have you chosen our company? You can say, well, I want to work for you for 3 specific reasons, and then tell them those 3 reasons. The last common question is, why should we hire you? This question is sometimes posed in a different way. Why should we hire you over the other applicants? The best way to answer this question is simply to say, I have read the job description in detail. I have strongly believe I have necessary skills, qualities, and attributes to carry out the job to a very high standard. If you hire me, I will work hard to fit into the team, so I can start contributing positively in a very quick time scale. That's a short, punchy, and positive statement that would be attractive to any interviewer. So that brings me to the end of this lesson. I hope all of these lessons are helpful for your interview later. Thank you very much, and I should see you soon for another lesson. Bye bye.